doorbell at Jimmy's house. Now, when you come to my house, my doorbell sounds like this.
Mr. President, friends and fellow citizens, he who could address this audience without a quailing sensation has stronger nerves than I have. I do not remember ever to have appeared as a speaker before an assembly more shrinkingly, nor with greater distrust of my ability than I do this day. A feeling has crept over me quite unfavorably to the exercise of my limited powers of speech. Fellow citizens, pardon me. Allow me to ask, why am I called upon to speak here today? What have I or those I represent to do with your national independence? Are the great principles of political freedom and the natural justice embodied in the Declaration of Independence extended to us? And am I therefore called upon to bring our humble offering to the national altar and to confess the benefits and express devout gratitude for the blessings resulting from your independence to us? Would to God, both for your sake and ours, that an affirmative answer could be truthfully returned to these questions. Then would my task be light and my burden easy and delightful. But such is not the state of the case. I say it with a sad sense of disparity between us. I am not included within the pale of this glorious anniversary. Your high independence only reveals the immeasurable distance between us. The blessings in which you this day rejoice are not enjoyed in common. The rich inheritance of justice, liberty, prosperity, and independence bequeathed by your fathers is shared by you, not by me. The sunlight that brought light and healing to you has brought stripes and death to me. This 4th of July is yours, not mine. At a time like this, scorching irony, not convincing argument is needed. Oh, had I the ability and could reach the nation's ear, I would today pour out a fiery stream of biting ridicule, blasting reproach, withering sarcasm, and stern rebuke. For it is not light that is needed, but fire. It is not the gentle shower, but thunder. We need the storm, the whirlwind, and the earthquake. The feeling of the nation must be quickened. The conscience of the nation must be roused. The propriety of the nation must be startled. The hypocrisy of the nation must be exposed, and its crimes against God and man must be proclaimed and denounced. What to the American slave is your 4th of July? I answer, a day that reveals to him more than all other days in the year the gross injustice and cruelty in which he is the constant victim. To him, your celebration is a sham, your boasted liberty an unholy license, your national greatness swelling vanity, your sounds of rejoicing are empty and heartless, your denunciation of tyrants, brass-fronted impudence, your shouts of liberty and quality, hollow mockery, your prayers and hymns, your sermons and thanksgivings, with all your religious parade and solemnity, are to him mere bombast, fraud, deception, impiety, and hypocrisy, a thin veil to cover up crimes which would disgrace a nation of savages. There is not a nation on the earth guilty of practices more shocking and bloody than are the people of the United States at this very hour. Go where you may, search where you will, roam through all the monarchies and despots of the old world. Travel through South America, search out every abuse, and when you have found the last, lay your facts by the side of the everyday practices of this nation, and you will say with me that for revolting barbarity and shameless hypocrisy, America reigns without a rival.
Hey, you're listening to the People's Weekly Show on peoplesradiounited.com. I'm Tim Best Buzz. I'm here with Steve Shagwell and St. Louis Gell, and Top 100's on the way. He's a little late today. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. Good to be here.
It's fine. Yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah, Steve's traveling, so he's doing the show on his way to another city and state. So when he's a little loud, I guess, on it, but he'll ride the mute.
Yep, I'm riding my mute button. I had to jump in a bar here and grab Wi-Fi. So there's I guess it's happy hour or something, because people are pretty happy and loud, and as well they should be. But so yeah, I'll just ride my mute button and we'll be all good.
Cool. Let's go into what everyone's working on or what we want to talk about at the beginning. I have a new MNOO show coming up next Monday. It'll be another one about net neutrality and the CFAA, and what's going on with I Fought the Law and all that, Steve.
Well, I've recovered from my injuries, recovered from my injuries well enough to work on the show again, and so I'm doing that. Been reaching out to some former law enforcement, working that thing right now, and waiting to hear back from some people and getting this all figured out. And as you know, I've been kind of on vacation for the last week, so not a lot got done, but I'm getting it in motion again. So
cool.
That's what's going on. Hey,
yeah.
You've got some people for me to connect with and set up and look into setting up an interview. The main guy I was going to interview next, I've looked into him, and I'm just not sure he'd work out that well. So
you have a couple people that are really good that you're working on getting.
Yeah.
Top's joined us now. How are
fantastic.
You,
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. I guess you and Gell can talk about what's coming up on a non-UK and Top Gear Live if you want, real quick. We're just starting the show off.
No worries. As it stands at the moment, everything is up in the air.
He doesn't allow us to make plans, and so I'm glad he showed up before you asked me what was going to be on Sunday, because I'm not allowed to make plans.
Andy Christopherson may be joining us. I know, Gal, you was in contact with him regarding specific cases.
Have you talked to Andy?
No, I thought you was.
I can get Andy. It's not a big deal.
There we go. We've got Andy on the show, guys.
At least let me ask and make sure he's not busy.
Well, they tentatively have Andy on this show.
Tentatively have Andy. Yeah, he's a lovely guy, Andy.
He's from Burke Media.
Yes, and there's a ruling recently. The police officers were acquitted in the Boyd murder.
Oh, not just acquitted; they got their job back. Oh, the main, I think it was Perez, got his job back and $145,000 back pay after murdering James Boyd.
Ridiculous.
Good Lord, that's so wrong.
Everything about it is wrong.
That brings us to why Danny Glover is on the show today. No, not really. We played a clip from Danny Glover at the beginning about the 4th of July, and I guess our first thing we're going to talk about is why it's probably not the wisest thing in the world to celebrate the 4th of July. That speech was from Frederick Douglass, and it pretty much said it all, because not all people have independence right now in this country. And celebrating it kind of is a slap in the face to people that aren't equal and as free as others.
Yeah, I used to be kind of an all-American metalhead, and I celebrated 4th of July, and I just, after being brutalized by the police and everything I wound up having to go through after that, it doesn't feel, I've never felt it, and I've never celebrated 4th of July since then. I've gotten drunk and shot off fireworks and played with explosives because there's beer and explosives everywhere, but it's just not really been a celebration. It's just, I love beer and explosives. So,
Yeah, I do use 4th of July to buy a lot of explosive devices, fireworks, whatever, but I set them off throughout the year when I have them.
Can we just make that clear that the explosives we are discussing is fireworks?
Yeah.
Because using
Absolutely.
the term explosives is going to get the NSA on our ass real quick.
Oh, sorry.
We're not allowed to, not allowed to say-
Fireworks.
They explode and make cool ass.
that is what they are. You're right. I just wanted to make sure that was well out there.
Nobody say the B
Yeah,
word.
that's a really, yeah.
Yeah, but maybe if you are getting together with your family, which is always good, and doing whatever, make sure people know you're not celebrating this farce of a holiday. You're just getting together with family, and because you don't have to work that day.
Right. It's like Thanksgiving. It's a
Exactly.
day off where you can get together, which is, I guess, the only positive that comes from it, because
Yeah, that's a
celebrating isn't the
horrible.
proper
That's a
term.
celebration of genocide. That's even worse
Exactly.
than this. This is
It's
just
horrible.
saying. This is just saying all are free when all aren't free. There's people getting
Exactly.
slaughtered by the police, and there's people who are getting beaten and attacked for trying to protect their land by the state. That all people aren't treated equal. Some people were robbed of the land by the people that are treated equal now.
Well, there's a black prison in Chicago, like a dark prison, like kind of a black ops prison in Chicago, where cops take people and they don't get lawyers and they torture people. It's like, how the fuck can we say we're free? It's just it's freaking ridiculous.
Guys, can I just, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm just reading an article at the moment. It's just come through 3 p.m. your time, I think. Russian-funded news station Sputnik replaces bluegrass radio on 105.5 FM.
Where the heck am I going to listen to my bluegrass now?
I don't even know what bluegrass is, but you've now got Russian-funded state media on your radio FM signal.
I know, isn't Grateful Dead a bluegrass band, kind of?
No, they weren't a bluegrass.
I was just going to say they had absolutely nothing to do with bluegrass.
Then I don't know what bluegrass is. I always thought it was like that kind of hippie music.
There is a little bit of a hippie sensibility to it. It's just very American roots music, I guess, in a way, like Americana. It's very Americana. It's banjos and guitars and has really good vocal harmonies. Singers harmonize well.
Not anymore. Wow.
Yeah. Giving up something no one really cares about for something no one should care about. That's whatever. Sputnik has a lot of real right-wing kind of alt-right types writing for them, don't they?
Yeah.
Don't they have Cassandra Fairbanks?
That's one of them I was talking about specifically.
FBI Fed collaborator and snitch enabler Cassandra Fairbanks, yes. Just thought I'd get that in there, in case anyone doesn't know who Cassandra Fairbanks is. Or Brandon Darby, the Fed.
Oh, now we've started it.
Yes. Fuck those two.
Yeah, there's a lot of bad people out there.
Patriots working for Russia. Well done.
Yeah, we're gonna have those patriots saying the 4th of July is all people are free and this is crap and Frederick Douglass. I mean, the president thought Frederick Douglass was still alive, didn't he, a couple months ago?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right after his inauguration, he was talking about how he was good friends with them.
When was his speech? In 1860 something?
1865, I believe.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, he's really, really old. Trump's an idiot. Sputnik wouldn't like that either, but I mean, it's true. I mean, who doesn't know who Frederick Douglass is? That's like, I mean, maybe people haven't heard this particular speech or whatever. Who doesn't know who Frederick Douglass was?
Me.
Like,
I was going to say anybody outside of the United States.
okay, but for a United States president, you
Right.
should at least know some history.
I agree with you on that. I wouldn't expect Top to know. Why would they really need to know American history? Other than that,
Yeah,
we're
well, I wouldn't
celebrating
expect Trump to either, you know.
Isn't that true?
Well, it's the same way we don't know a lot of people that they have in their history as well. I mean, yeah. But when I say who, I meant like, you know, in this country.
I agree.
Gal, tell him
Tell him what?
you're now a Brit.
I am now a Brit. I'm done. This week was after the Supreme Court upheld the travel ban. I was done. So I have a pure diet right now of only British news. And outside of that, I'm done. At least for this week.
You need to work on your accent because you're not fooling anybody.
I know. Every night after Top goes to sleep, I sit here and I watch British television working on my accent. I'm not good yet.
Yeah, you're going to have to work on substituting all those words. Like the trunk of the car is the boot.
Oh, I can already do that. That's simple for me.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she's dual-lingual now.
Yes. Food, everything, yeah. The bin bag, yeah, I've got all that. It's taken 3 years, but I've got it.
There you go. So
I even use it in classroom and teach it to my students.
Wow.
Like
Cultural learning.
kicking people in the chuff. Yeah, that's not something you hear in our country.
That was me.
I think I want to be a Brit too.
Oh, that's a fantastic language.
I should start the hashtag
regularly.
we're all Brits.
You can use cunt regularly without getting the side eye or,
You
beat up.
can?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all in now.
Seriously. They use cunt the way we use bitch on everything. Like, hey, what's up, bitch? They use cunt that way.
Yeah, you can use it for inanimate objects or anything. Anything you're upset with.
If you have to refer to something that's not yourself, well, even yourself, everything can be referred to as cunt. I'm a cunt. You're a cunt. Everyone's a cunt. That tree over there is a cunt. This microphone's not working. It's a cunt. Multitude of uses. It's the most versatile word out there. And if you say it in a mean, angered type voice and actually mean it, you can actually cause offence, which is great.
Thank you to Top because Fox News was about to sign our show as one of their shows, and now you just killed it.
Is there any way to reverse that Fox decision? I don't know. I can grab some breasts. I can whatever it takes. Anything for the show.
Jason Chevitz is starting Fox on Monday. No, tomorrow. July 1st.
That's the congressman, right?
Yes, the congressman who went on TV within the last month and said that people should just not use their cell phones and save that money and put it towards their health care. They don't need
he said poor people need to make a choice if they want to buy a new iPhone or have health care.
Yes, and then this week had the nerve to put in a bill asking for $2,500 for every congressman extra for their housing. So I tweeted him and said maybe he just needs to use his cell phone less.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't need a cell phone. Can't Fox News give him a line?
Probably, yeah. So he officially resigned today. He starts Fox News tomorrow.
See, Todd, when you screwed up using the C word all the whole time, you know what that did? That took all our free cell phones from Fox away, too. So, you screwed yourself there, buddy.
I felt emboldened because the American gal used the term first.
But notice I can only use it when referring to Britain. Here, it's not good.
It has to kind of roll off your tongue as if it's no big deal. You have to just kind of disguise it as part of your language. Not par for the course. You know, it's like, oh, I'm saying this word. It can be highly offensive. It can be highly funny. It's not really a word that's respected globally, internationally, but a Brit can get away with it.
And an Australian and a Canadian. That's what I've learned.
The British people I know, the drunker they get, the more they use it generally.
Exactly.
Like a dog with a bone.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, I mean, we just got off of the 4th of July. We got onto a tangent. We lost the deal with Fox News, and now we're going to talk. I guess we're talking about slavery in a way. Now we're going to talk about, do the rich still want slavery? Because they're trying to automate everything, and it's going to take a lot of people's jobs away in the future.
We've had discussions on this. It's yes, it is going to remove. Here's a deal with automation: is the lower end paying jobs. Nobody politically is going to give a fuck. A lot of lower end scale employees are more than likely can't vote or not in a position to vote, or actually gerrymandered out of voting or haven't got ID to vote. So it's when the middle class, when their jobs start getting automated, that's when you're going to see politicians sit up and take notice. We've got a young kid here in the UK who started automating the automation of legal services, no less. Now, what this kid did, he wrote a script and a program. It was a chatbot. Now, you could put in incidences of when you got a parking ticket. You put in the dates, the location, and there was an automated script that he put together that would appeal your parking ticket. He had over 100,000 revocations of parking fines. I promise you, a young kid. He was 16, 17 years of age. He wrote a script, and normally if you had a fine, you'd invoke a lawyer and say, I'm not happy with this fine, civil court, whatever. And you'd a small-time lawyer would take your case. That was just an example. You're obviously not going to get a lawyer for a parking ticket, but it's the automation of low-level judiciary, shall we say, if you want to put it like that. But yeah, you can just write a script and a chatbot now that can help with your legal affairs.
That is so awesome.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find the link on that. Chat.
Yeah, I mean, now we've realized that even old technology, like with the current president we have, that Teddy Ruxpin doll they made, that's a robot that can actually be the president of the United States and do a better job than what we currently have. So,
just an update. This chatbot lawyer overturned 160,000 parking tickets in London and New York alone.
Wow.
God, yes, that's awesome.
I'm posting the link in the chats now, just so you guys understand I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. This is happening. This happened in 2016. So yeah, as I was saying, the automation of the middle class, the middle class territory, the professions, if you like. When you start automating those and affecting middle class incomes, then that's when you'll see politicians taking more interest in universal basic income as a start, for example. So it is interesting times. That everyone thought, actually no one understood where the internet was going to go. Nobody understood up until the dot-com crash the importance of the internet, or should I say it was overinflated up until the dot-com crash, and then the commerce was reborn in another fashion. And it's I don't see a dot-com bust heading our way any soon at the moment. Do you?
I don't.
Yeah, I think in the not too far off future, a lot more jobs than they think are going to be being taken, even some higher paying, really big jobs. I mean, just look how video games are going forward. They could start making movies without actors. I mean, they need voices, but then they can. I mean, it's just going to start changing. So much stuff. Like the rich people are going to start losing some of their jobs as well. I guarantee you. The further we get, and it's just going to be people that run the automation are going to be the people that actually have jobs.
I'm going to contact this kid that created the chatbot for the parking fines and see if he wants to do a chatbot politician.
There you go.
Yes, absolutely. Dude, make it happen.
That would set a firework up the ass, wouldn't it?
Yeah, especially if it won and got elected.
Yeah, can you imagine?
And it wouldn't be difficult considering, what was it, Google that tried the AI this past year? And after like less than a day online, they all turned into alt-right bots?
Yeah, they turned artificial intelligence into a racist.
Yeah, I saw that. That was something else.
It's so easy to do. That's where comprehension comes in, and that's what they struggle with AI at the moment. That's the keystone. That's the turning point. If they suss comprehension, they've nailed it.
Oh, by the way, it was Microsoft.
Is it Microsoft?
It was Microsoft. Microsoft deletes racist, genocidal tweets from AI chatbot.
That's censorship.
Oh my God.
Well, I mean, if you want to destroy all the humans, that makes sense. You start with the group that wants to destroy most other groups, and then you can kill them easier when there's a few humans left.
Yeah.
It was a perfect plot.
But yeah, that's our future. Automation is going to be a thing. More jobs are going to be automated. I know for a fact my job is being automated on an incremental basis, day by day. More of my work the customer can do for themselves online will just be there as support. Now, that support will be automated as well. So you've got problems configuring whatever it is you want to purchase from an entity. You have a problem configuring or you need advice. You'll then go to another bot for the technical advice, and it'll be a step process. So it's just the way things are going to work. It's the way things are going. Am I scared of it? No. Personally, I do understand that many people would be fearful. I haven't got myself into debt via the banks by way of mortgage, etc. I kind of saw this coming, so I haven't got 25 years of debt to finance and manage.
Yeah,
I saw this coming.
But I mean, it's not gonna hit everybody for a long time. We might be dead and gone by then, before it's like in full effect. But like even currently, like taxi drivers and bus drivers and people like that, maybe even eventually pilots and stuff will just, they don't need them anymore. And then restaurant workers might not be needed. Things they can automate very easily. They already have some restaurants, I believe, in San Francisco, where there's no workers. You just walk in and kind of deal with machines to get your food.
Well, I loathe I say it, but McDonald's here in the UK, you have one reception desk, if you like, now, where one person, I think they just take your money, or some people just don't get on with the technology, so they're there as a backup to the ordering system, which is automated. and then you just order at this panel console, if you like, and then somebody comes and brings your food to you. But whereas it would normally, they've got 5 or 6 of these console panels there now, and that's replacing 5-6 people taking money and taking orders at the desk. So you've just got people servicing. They're being told what to do effectively by an automated system. So the machines have already taken over.
Yeah.
Skynet.
You just took 5 of people's low hour job that they desperately need, and took that from them. I mean, that wasn't even. I mean, they didn't have anything, and you took that from them. It's just ridiculous.
And now I say robots, but it's effectively an autonomous system now barking out orders to low paid human beings in McDonald's. It's happening, and that's all for the sake for us to get a cheap burger.
Did they go down in price? I don't think that would happen. I think they just keep going up in price, and they wouldn't have to pay anybody, so it's more profit margin. That's what they're trying to do.
Exactly that. You watch next year's figures when McDonald's releases its global figures, and you see where the automated systems which countries have had the automated systems released, and then watch the increase in profits for those regions. I haven't studied McDonald's finances in recent years, but I do know they have been struggling as a global entity. But you watch the increase in profit. So it cost £5,000 for one of the systems to be put in place, whereas you would have paid £10,000 for a salary for a part-time young student worker. So you've now saved yourself half that money. Times that by 5, times that across the entire district. They don't do franchises with McDonald's, do they? Like other fast food, like Domino's and stuff. Gal, do you know if McDonald's is franchised? Or is it wholly owned?
It's a little both, actually, I believe. If I remember right, like some are franchises and some are corporately owned.
Gotcha. It's one thing I really haven't looked into, I must admit. Yeah. Automation is creeping its way in. Every supermarket now has 10, 12, 24, 36 self-service stations. That's all.
Yeah, we have a couple of them, but they're usually closed after a certain time. It's not a huge thing. But some stores out here, they have them 24 hours, and they're always open, and they have 4 or 8 of them.
They're massive hit.
That eliminated a checker's job, a bagging person's job. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's the future. That's the way it's headed. But you're right. Is it going to be as disruptive as everybody imagines it's going to be? You're probably not. We do adapt. There's always going to be something for us to do as a species. The UK at the moment, if the economy is buoyant, you'll have a low, unemployment rate. Things like, if you have a look at the unemployment rates through Greece, Italy and Spain, that's got nothing to do with automation, which is rife in the UK. UK unemployment rate's around 5-6%, whereas unemployment rate in Spain and Greece, 12, 14, 25% respectively. That's got nothing to do with automation. That's fiscal assassination of a country. Austerity. We've got austerity, and a lot of people are in work, and they're not gaining anything from being in work since austerity started. But that's a completely different political issue altogether. Greece has an unemployment rate of under 25 is over 40%. And there's no automation in Greece, I can tell you. They haven't got the money to invest in automation. They've gone backwards 20 years, if anything, because of the financial crisis and their political class leaving them high and dry. And fucking off to London, no less.
Yeah, here our unemployment rate is like a sham because it gets really low, but anyone with any job is put on after so many hours is put on the list. So there's people making hardly any money, working hardly any hours, just so it looks like they're employed.
Yeah, that shit's been going on since the Bush administration. I mean, I remember seeing where like McDonald's was included, working at McDonald's was included as if it was, it's an assembly job because you assemble a cheeseburger. They're fudging the numbers here like that.
Well, just because someone's employed on that list doesn't mean they can survive off of that job. They might be working 6 to 20 hours a week or 8 to 20 hours a week or something and getting paid minimum wage. How you survive on that?
Well, yeah, and people may even be working a bunch and not getting by. I remember when I was working in a foundry, I was doing 70-hour work weeks, but I was still barely getting by. I was making $13 an hour, and it's like they like if you start making overtime, they tax the hell out of you, so you don't get ahead that way, and like it's just the way it works out. If you start having some money coming in, all of a sudden everything's just like more expensive. I don't understand exactly how that happens, but when I was working 70 hours a week, I was broker than I am now.
Yeah, probably because the things you get are more expensive, like rent will be more and everything else because you can afford it, and then that takes away from what you're making. But yeah, you can't really survive, I don't think, under $20-something an hour, and that's like a minimum. I think anyone should make $20-25 an hour, especially here in California. Everything's very expensive.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with that statement for sure, Tim. It's hard to survive on less than that. Well, I think part of it is I had a vehicle.
Hello. I think somebody dropped out. Give us a second. Steve, you there?
I think somebody did. I'm here.
Oh, everything dropped out on me for a second. I don't know what happened.
Okay. We're all here.
Cool.
Top might not be here.
No, he said he's going to be right back, but go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Okay, fantastic. I actually forgot what I was saying. I've not slept much this week.
Yeah.
I did want to ask you guys. I know there was a big thing. Some billionaire was working on a bill, if you like. I don't know what you guys may have called this particular endeavor, but he was looking to have overtime reinstated as a policy because you guys in America, effectively, you're not. There's no legislation that puts into law that you have to get paid overtime, especially if you're salaried. Gal, do you remember we discussed this? I think it was last year, or could it have been the year before?
I think if you're salaried, you don't have to get overtime. They can give you comp time and stuff like that. But if you're an hourly employee, I think they have to pay you overtime after so many hours a day and so many hours a week. At least in California.
They do. They do if you're hourly, but if you're salary, they don't have to at all. I mean, I've got a friend who works for a shipping company, and he works like 60 hours a week, and he gets paid like the way he gets paid. He might as well be working like 40, because if you're on salary, they just have to pay you so much per month, and you have to get the job done. And then they set the parameters of the job so high that you just wind up like working a bunch, and they get you for minimum wage, even though you're doing something skilled.
Yeah, I know a lot of places here, they just kind of quietly expect their employees to work overtime. like once they clock out, because they don't want to give them overtime, so they have them work off the clock overtime and then don't pay them for it. And it's kind of like just knowing that if you want to keep your job, you just kind of need to do that. And there was a place I worked at a while back, and the employees sued them over this. And what happened was the whole lawsuit was like a class action. They fired all the employees from all the stores for suing them, because they don't have to have a reason to fire people. And then everyone only got like $700 or $800 in the class action lawsuit, so they lost their job for about $700 or $800, while the company was breaking the law, robbing them of across the country doing that. That's hundreds of thousands of dollars they're robbing their employees for.
I'm just reading a measure now backed by the Republicans. This is from May this year. The measure backed by Republicans would let employers offer workers paid time off instead of time and a half pay when they do overtime.
Yeah, that was part of an executive order at first for Trump, and then the Republicans tried to get it passed through Congress. But then just today, this is why the mic got brought up, actually, because it's been in the news today, that the Department of Labor has abandoned the Obama overtime rule, which was strict rules put in place late last year for overtime eligibility of those who were salaried. And so now, since corporations and businesses and states started suing over that, Trump administration has dropped that rule, and they're working on new rules now in order to not have that overtime for salary. And that's all of as today.
Okay, so
I have it right here.
Timely discussion then on overtime.
Yeah. I didn't know it was in the news today either. It was when you said it, and I went to look it up, and I knew what you were talking about, the May one, and then this popped up.
Yeah, it's called the Working Families Flexibility Act.
Yeah, so flexible.
Flexibility, whereas you don't get paid.
I always teach my students that anything that the bill is called in Congress or the act, it's usually the opposite. Like the Patriot Act or anything like that, it's always the opposite.
It really is. You know, the Patriot Act is one of the most unpatriotic things that anybody can do. Like signing on to that, most unpatriotic National Defense of America Act. Like, you are so not defending America and American values if you sign on to that. You're right. You're absolutely right. It's like it's a branding thing. They do like the Madison Avenue shit and brand their stuff to be the opposite of what it is. You know.
It's like the Affordable Care Act. Nobody knew it was called fucking ObamaCare.
No, yeah, everybody thought it was called ObamaCare. They don't know it's the same as Affordable Care Act.
Yeah. Everyone, a lot of Republicans and a lot of low to middle income families absolutely detested Obamacare, but didn't actually know what ACA was.
Mm-hmm. Keep your voters ignorant.
Yeah, I think
what did we learn about Winston Churchill yesterday, Tap?
Hey, you're the Brit now. You tell him.
The best argument against democracy is a 5-minute conversation with a voter, with an everyday voter.
Yeah,
there is something to that. Yes,
they're passing the alt-right's passing these fake Winston Churchill quotes off on these memes.
That was a real one.
No, I'm talking about the alt-right when they're saying in the future the fascists will be called anti-fascists and all these other.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm particularly picky about my quotes. I don't want them to be fake. I got screwed over early.
No, I wasn't. Just when you said Winston Churchill,
I
wanted to throw that out, and just because I know they're passing those around, and it reminded me. It had nothing to do with your quote.
Oh, I'm not. I know that. I'm saying in general, though, as everybody should do, is always, I've seen Lincoln quotes that Lincoln would have never said. First of all, there's terminology from 100 years later. Like, it has to be like that was my introduction into social media in the 2000 whatever, was to always double check my quotes.
Yeah.
Because that's what I used to do with social media when I first started back in grad school. I would just post quotes all the time because I thought I was, enlightened.
I was just looking at this article you sent me, Gail. Wow, the Missouri NAACP is issuing a travel advisory against the state.
Yes, they are.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's not being talked about very much. The only way I even found out of it was listening to Joe Madison's show yesterday morning, and he had the head of the Missouri NAACP on, and it just blew my mind. Not in the sense that, I know all about Missouri laws and lack of civil rights and everything like that, but the fact that they've actually issued a travel advisory for people of color specifically not to really go through Missouri because we have made it legal now for individual discrimination. And it was Senate Bill 143, I think is the number, that was passed just recently, allowing for any kind of, really what it does is it means that you can't sue for individual discrimination anymore in the state of Missouri, is what the bill states.
So you've just sanctioned state racism.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely what it is.
Well done.
And then it goes on.
Obviously.
Yeah, it goes on and shows that the actual Attorney General's report from Missouri last year showed that black drivers are 75% more likely to be stopped than white drivers, which we generally see is Senate Bill. It says Senate Bill 43 in this article. I swear it's 143. That's okay. Actually pretty common all around the country, not just in Missouri for stops. That's pretty well known as well with profiling. But just even the fact that they've had to come out with this travel ban, not travel ban, it's a whole other fucking topic, travel advisory towards people of color for the state of Missouri should say a lot.
We literally now live in America where there's a travel advisory for one of our states. Like, what the fuck, dude?
And
Holy
there probably
shit.
should be one for quite a few more of our states. We have laws
Yeah,
in some
absolutely.
states.
You're absolutely correct.
We have laws where people are allowed to run down protesters in North Dakota and other places. It's ridiculous. They just did an NRA ad talking basically without saying it, saying you're going to need your guns to kill these left-wing people.
Yeah, we brought that NRA video up.
I'm glad you did, because I've been sharing that all over the place as well. They have declared civil war. They've declared civil war.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you guys a question real quick off all the subjects. Just because it came up. The NRA, we talked about it a week or two ago, Gal. You said they didn't allow guns into their own meetings, right?
They don't. They don't allow it into their own convention.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to ask you guys as well as all the people listening, which won't be many until later when people listen to these after the fact generally. But, yeah, leave me comments or questions. What I'm thinking about doing is, and if you think I should do it, I found out we have every month near my house, less than a mile away, they hold NRA meetings at some building. One of those what are they, the veterans kind of buildings? And I'm wondering maybe I should go down there with a camera and a microphone and kind of crash it and ask some questions, interview some people and see what they say about stuff and get the word from the horse's mouth.
I think that would be awesome, but I would like to state that it's the national conventions where they're really particular about not having guns. I don't know how they are at the meetings.
Tim, if you want, I've actually got the audio ready to play if you want to listen to the National Rifle Association propaganda video.
Yeah.
Isn't that just meaning that we're making it more propaganda?
Yeah. Do you think we should play it? I mean,
I think it does. The first thing I thought when I saw it is that it does need to be seen. I just refused to share it from the NRA. I downloaded it myself.
I thought it was
because it was pure propaganda. I thought
it was like a spoof video at first.
Yes.
I didn't realize it was real. I was like, is this for real?
They, and it's like, who the fuck is they? You're not even telling us who they are. And, it's like, they get their ex-president and, okay, go ahead and play it, top bucket.
There you go. If you want to mute your microphones, I'll leave mine open and I'll play this audio.
Okay, and People's Radio in no way, shape, or form condones the National Racist Association, or NRA.
I like that.
Just so you know.
Yeah, I posted a disclaimer as well. This is not an endorsement of fucking madness. So, yes, this is the National Rifle Association of America's Join Freedom's Safest Place Today. Now, this is a commentary from the National Rifle Association as a recruitment drive because the left snowflakes are now to be considered a threat to America.
Top, share your Skype sound. Top, share your Skype sound.
Yes, I'm on it. Bloody Skype, I'm on it. Let me just do a refresh on the page. You should be able to hear this now. Let me go and find it. It's not too far away. It's terrifying, yet you need to listen to the mindset of America or aspects of America today. This is the NRA.
You know what? If they had played this on Saturday Night Live with the laugh track.
Sorry?
I'm sorry, I didn't know you were playing it yet. I was going to say, if they played this on Saturday Night Live with a laugh track behind it, it would have been comedy.
Right, you would have thought it was satire.
Yeah, but go ahead. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were playing it yet. Go ahead.
No problem. No, this is definitely not satire, listeners.
They use their schools to teach children that their president is another Hitler. They use their movie stars and singers and comedy shows and award shows to repeat their narrative over and over again. And then they use their ex-president to endorse the resistance, all to make them march, make them protest, make them scream racism and sexism and xenophobia and homophobia, to smash windows, burn cars, shut down interstates and airports, bully and terrorize the law-abiding, until the only option left is for the police to do their jobs and stop the madness. And when that happens, they'll use it as an excuse for their outrage. The only way we stop this, the only way we save our country and our freedom, is to fight this violence of lies with the clenched fist of truth. I'm the National Rifle Association of America, and I'm freedom's safest place.
Freedom's safest place with a fucking psychopath.
Holy shit, there is like so much to unpack there. I have no idea even where to start, but I'm going to try. No, fuck, dude.
That's like, Dana Loesch, just so everybody knows who that was speaking. Dana Loesch is an American conservative talk radio host, like Rush Limbaugh. She writes for The Blaze. That. Yeah, that's who that is.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Like, painting our president as a Hitler, like, okay, so he's not Hitler, but he's the closest thing we've had to Hitler,
in our lifetime.
And so, like, okay, yes, true, and so there's that, but oh fuck, dude, holy shit, I just like somebody actually took that and tried to pass it off as like legitimate, should be taken seriously. The
NRA published it.
I'm sorry, I'm fucking speechless.
She was on Fox News yesterday saying this doesn't condemn violence, or no, it doesn't condone it. It's just saying we should protect ourselves. That's what she was saying yesterday on Fox.
Well, like, here's the thing, right? Like, I love me some guns. I love guns. I'm a pretty Second Amendment guy, but fuck the NRA. I've said it for years. Fuck those guys. They just like, you shouldn't have to embrace racism and classism in order to protect your Second Amendment rights, that's like what they're trying to make people do, and it's just fuck those guys. As
soon as you start using the term they, you have this in-group, I'm a sociologist, in-group, out-group, this we are better than them, or this us versus them mentality, which is what leads to the violence that we see in this country more than any other country. And
don't you think that the NRA is just shown by releasing this propaganda video that it should not be an advocating voice for, one, the Second Amendment, two, the right to protect yourself, because they're advocating violence? How many targets, how many different groups did they just label as targets there? Now that's an incitement to hatred. That's illegal.
Yeah, that's not illegal here.
No?
No.
Well, you guys do me this favor, and all the people listening who will listen to this, do me the same favor. Leave me a message on Twitter, or even in the comments here after the fact, what questions you want me to ask when I go there and stuff like that. I'm gonna try to stay not hostile and calm and just ask questions. I'm gonna try to.
You need to go in and go. I saw the recruitment video and I felt the need to. I was recruited. That's what you should go in with.
Well, I do want to ask them questions about their feelings on the Philando Castile case because the media is saying the whole NRA hates it. It's just the few racist leaders that won't talk about it. Everybody else thinks it's horrible. Yeah, I let's find out from the horse's mouth.
Philando Castro was the guy that was a legal gun owner but was still shot dead because he was a person of color.
Philando Castile, not Castro.
Yeah, but if you know the history of California and the NRA and why a lot of our guns are banned now, it has to do with sheer racism and nothing else. It's because the Black Panthers went on the steps of the Capitol building with machine guns and stuff and rifles, and basically because they said as a black person in the United States, nobody listens to me. But when I come with a gun, everybody want to know what I have to say all of a sudden. And right after that was one of the few times in history, I think, the NRA went for gun control to get them out of the hands of these violent black people. Kind of like the video they just played. They don't want guns in the hands of the people they're opposed to. They want the guns in the hands of the white people, and preferably the more wealthy white people.
Can I just pinpoint the fact that they're this is all about the Second Amendment, but the First Amendment actually is what allows us to protest. But that's just they're completely going against that right there.
Because they are. That's because the NBA are a bunch of hypocritical, inbred, fucking.
That would be the NRA, not the NBA.
Assholes. Right? Did I say NBA?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I'm sorry. NRA. Yeah, the NRA are a bunch of hypocritical, inbred, fascist fucks, and that's why they're like that. Yeah, as you can tell, I'm not a fan.
And fuck the NBA too, those tall fucking bastards making us all feel inferior.
Hey, now, come on. Tall is beautiful. Stop body shaming.
Don't get me started with sports because those people are allowed to get away with anything they do. I mean, you can't take a knee during the national anthem, but you can fight dogs, beat women, do all this other crazy stuff, be racist, and that's okay. But just don't take a knee and protest and practice. I know it's not NBA, it's NFL or whatever, but it's all related. These sports celebrities are so beloved by people to let them get away with anything that the average person shouldn't be getting away with,
except for taking a knee during the national anthem.
Except for your First Amendment right. But what I was going to say earlier is because the people that like NRA type people, racist, alt-right, whatever, Nazis, they believe the First Amendment is the right to scream any racist thing you want without repercussions. That's the end all be all of it to them. They don't think it's for protesting your government, which it was meant for.
But there's a new term on the block, people. The bro flake.
The what?
The bro flake. You know, you got snowflakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all left snowflakes, but there's the bro flake. Let me explain. A straight white male offended by any feminist or ethnic activity which is not directly designed for him. I.e., Kyle said, "How come there's no straight pride parade?" Me, "Oh my God, you're such a delicate little bro flake."
Oh my God, dude, that is the most brilliant shit I've heard all summer. I fucking love that.
Isn't that great?
That's classic.
I love it. I posted that, and I posted it with I'm a white guy. If you don't like me posting this, you can fuck off. Sensitive little bro flakes.
That's ingenious.
Yeah. It's in the Urban Dictionary. You can go and search it. I took a screen capture of it. It's great. They're not having a parade for you. You fucking white privileged fucking. Well, you know where this can go. Is you guys are about to embark on civil war. I'm not here to inflame it. Just so you know, I'm not an antagonist or protagonist.
Yeah.
On that note, though, because it is about to get so much worse, whether people realize it or not, I'm trying to bring up the information here. But remember when Trump made his commission to look for illegal voting? The commission is now actually asking each state to give information on all of their voters. They're asking for name, address, social security number, birth date, political affiliation, and voting history of every American voter. And at least 4 states have told them no. But they're collecting this information because it's going for a nationwide suppression effort is the whole point. Because, as we know, Republicans can't get in office, specifically the presidency, with voters because not since 1988, since they actually won the vote.
The popular
vote. Yeah, the popular vote. And this is the only way they're going to be able, especially with 2020 coming around with the census. So when that happens, the 2020 census is what opens it up for redistricting, and the laws are remade for that purpose after the census.
An idea.
It's being set up. It's not a conspiracy. It's happening.
I've got an idea. When anybody comes to you with a consensus questionnaire type, they want to collate all your information, just say you're going to vote Jedi. If the entire left decided that they're going to vote Jedi...
The census doesn't ask what you're voting, dude.
But they want to know your previous...
No, that is the commission. That's the Trump Election Commission. That has nothing to do... I was just bringing up the census because in 2020, depending on who wins the election, is going to have a direct effect on the next decade.
But when anyone asks you in the street, exit pollers, anybody that wants to... robocallers, you guys have this quite a bit. You get a team of... political worker ants, if you like, and they get a list of numbers and they phone up. Oh, you vote so and so last time. Who are you voting for this time? Can we count on your vote? That's that type of situation. If everybody said they're voting Jedi or Pastafarian, they would have, for the next time that list goes around, they probably won't phone you for a start.
Or even try Pirate Party maybe.
Pirate Party, Pastafarian, or Jedi.
Yeah, hey guys, did you see the news right now breaking? Gunman down after mass shooting inside a Bronx hospital.
Yeah, at Lebanon Hospital, at least 2 were shot, and they were searching for the gunman. I didn't know that the gunman had been done. Yeah, counting him. Counting
reportedly down, believed to be a former employee. Every day.
It's been going on. Yeah, it's been going on since we started. It was 5 minutes before we went on air did that news break, and I was waiting to get more information on that. But I didn't know that the shooter. No, you're good. I was waiting for the shooter to be down. That's what I was waiting for. So, but you're absolutely
suspect reportedly down.
Sure, you can ask the question.
Because I'm not going to get the answer from Gab because she's refusing to look at American news at the moment. But there's a report that Donald Trump has utilized a media group he's utilizing or weaponizing a media group to attack his enemies. Does anybody know which media group he's using?
I haven't seen media group. The tweet you sent me said media, which was Twitter.
I don't think it was referring to Twitter. I think they were referring to a news organisation, so Breitbart or an equivalent or something. But he's using something. Yeah, it could be right. It could be Twitter, but I didn't read it that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I would assume if it was a mainstream, it would be either Breitbart or Fox News.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. It's National Enquirer. My bad. I know what you're talking about now, Top. That's the article I said I opened the Guardian article and then closed it. It is okay. So here's what happened. As a breakdown, the chick from Morning Show yesterday, Trump went off on Twitter claiming that she was asking for something over New Year's Eve at Mar-a-Lago. He called her a very sexist name and something about her face was bleeding bad. It's just fucking Trump. What do you expect? Then last night, all through the night, both Joe and Mika, the 2 individuals on Morning Joe, continued to get phone calls from the White House and from some people within the Trump administration telling them that a big story was going to break on National Enquirer, and if Joe would just call Trump, I can get the story for you, by the way, I'm not making this up. It sounds like I should be making it up, but this is fucking America right now. If Joe would just call Trump and apologize for his bad press coverage that Trump, who is very closely tied to the owner of the National Enquirer, would get the story taken out. That's what they're talking about, and I will get you that story. It's in The Guardian today.
Nice one.
But isn't the National Enquirer the fucking paper that talks about how like celebrities are dating aliens and shit or whatever the fuck? And the Bat Boy and
Bat Boy returns.
Good Lord.
Bat Boy returns.
Good
You're absolutely
Lord.
right. I just want you to know that that's what they're talking. I didn't realize what you were talking about at the time. Stop. I got it now.
Good Lord.
Here's
Holy shit.
See, that's what happens when you have to rely on a European. Because America is just so ashamed of itself at the moment, your head is in the pillow, you're facing down, avoiding the world, and it takes a Brit to bring you back to reality.
Well,
we don't want that to be our reality.
a day or two ago, he was basically borderline sexually harassing an Australian reporter, I believe, in the White House, while on a call to
yes.
Who was it? What was he on the call to? Another president or of some other country or something? A prime minister.
Yeah,
But yeah, and he calls this woman over and starts telling her she's beautiful and what's she doing for the prime minister he's talking to or something. It was just like, what the heck is wrong with this guy?
He did the same to Miss Scotland.
Yeah.
On camera.
Right, whatever. Before he was president.
Yeah, you should come work for us. And then he goes and has a word with Jared Kushner. Where can we put her? She'll be good in sales because she looks pretty.
No wonder his wife hates him. I mean, he could at least pretend like they're together. Oh,
guys, can we talk cyber warfare?
I'm going to cyber you right now.
Yes.
It's top topic, man. You gotta that one just so you know. But it is something that needs to be talked about, especially with the ransomware this week.
Yes. When is ransomware not ransomware? When it's a cyber weapon that's been deployed. Now, you guys know, I know TNT and Federal Express have been hit severely. Global operations for TNT are down as we speak. They've lost a large part of their system because of this particular virus. I'm just trying to find what I did with the link. Bear with me a second. But yeah, there was a reported ransomware released. It was allegedly similar in vein to the WannaCry virus that swept the globe recently. Let's have a look. I've got it here. The WannaCry virus ransomware swept across the globe. It particularly affected us in the UK because it took out a lot of our NHS systems. Now, the NHS is over £100 billion organisation a year. It employs 100,000 people. So when an organisation like that in the UK cannot do its job, it makes headline news. Now, this new outbreak of so-called ransomware, but I'm going to term it as hijackWare, had no intention of making any money, and it had no intention of decrypting the files that it encrypted. So in all the reporting that it was ransomware, which I declared from day one, this is not about money. The newspapers are catching up today and are reporting this isn't looking like a typical ransomware attack. Now, the code itself is not, some of the code is not new. It's been around before. A particular individual affiliated with it, I can't recall his name at the moment. He created the code and he sold it. He sold it to bad actors, but it's been changed to exploit a particular part of Windows, which the NSA held back on the zero-day exploit. This was part of a release of information by shadow brokers. Shadow brokers are reported to be Russian, but it's leaving a lot, there's not a lot of attribution there. But the deal is that this is a particular interesting piece of hijackware, is in the fact that the last time I seen something similar to this was Saudi Aramco, that's the Saudi Arabian oil company, was attacked allegedly by Iran as a direct cause and effect of the Stuxnet virus taking down centrifuges in the nuclear facility of Iran, of Natanz for Iran. So Israel and the US released a cyber weapon called Stuxnet. It wasn't named as Stuxnet by them. It was part of an Olympic Games endeavor to curb nuclear proliferation within Iran. But because they stopped centrifuges in the Natanz facility, Iran got pissed off and allegedly released Shimon onto Saudi Aramco. Now, what Shimon did was completely wipe 30,000 computer systems within that organization. Dead. Removed all information from them, and it was irretrievable. 30,000 computer systems. Now, that's exactly what this ransomware, alleged ransomware, has just performed on a larger scale. I'll let you know into a couple of attack targets. I say attack because I don't think this found its way onto these systems by accident. Maersk is the largest shipping company on Earth. They transport more by sea than any other company on Earth. All of its shipping operations were affected. 11 ports, docking ports for ships, were affected. So were its oil and gas exploration and energy interests affected. Moving on to the logistics, transportation of goods and services, TNT have been hit globally. They're now crippled, and Federal Express has been crippled as well. So that shows you that it's a particular type of vector, particular type of victim that's been more prevalent than most. Now, it's allegedly started off in the first attack shown was in the Ukraine, and you need to. I won't go into details, but there's a particular accounting software that may have been the cause of the leak, which was factored into this. It was released through Ukraine, a lot of systems in the Ukraine, which would then signify that it's Russia attacking the Ukraine, but there's one particular victim of this on United States shores that come up, that just flagged something, sent alarm bells running through my mind. And that's Nuance Comms. Does anyone know anyone heard of Nuance Comms?
No.
Nuance Comms, they work in speech recognition technologies for the US military. Advanced system voice automated communications for military purposes. Now, that's not widely reported. Now, I'm just going to go through my Twitter feed because I posted this earlier today. There is a Verge. Is it the Verge or Verve article posted today? And at the very bottom of this article was a PS, Nuance Comms was also a target. No one else has reported this apart from this particular article. And when you look at Nuance Comms, I'll post this in the chat now, they're working on something, a statecraft adversary knows what this company is working on, and all of the noise surrounding this attack, I bet a cookie, an internet cookie, yeah, which is fucking invaluable, they were the target of this malware, ransomware. Now, nobody knows what all of the ransomware is doing. It's the same. It's not as complex as Stuxnet, but nobody knows what all the software, the code is doing in this package. Now, Nuance, comms, let's go and find their wiki. Now, I know for a fact, because I've been following Project PM for a while. Here's Nuance Comms. They are an American multinational computer software technology corporation headquartered in Burlington, Massachusetts. They provide speech and imaging applications, and current business products focus on server and embedded speech recognition, telephone call steering systems, automated telephony directory services, medical transcription software and systems, optical character recognition software, and desktop imaging software. Now, they would actually seem like typical business applications, but they're working very deeply with the American military as well. They, I believe, were the target for whoever released this not Petra malware, hijackware, ransomware package. That's just my own analysis of the situation, but shipping, international shipping globally has been affected. That was the noise. This was a strategic target for whoever released that.
Are they working directly with the military, or does the military just use their
I'll post the link in the chat.
Okay.
Please feel free to go and search for yourselves.
I, like many others, have no clue what you just said.
Nuance Communications was a target for the ransomware that was released this week.
Okay. I just sort of TLDR there, that's all.
Allegedly, this was ransomware for money. It raised less than $10,000. There was no decryption to occur, even if you paid your money. This was all just a ruse to disperse a weapon. It's a cyber attack. Now, it's actually being reported as a cyber attack. Let me just go and find let's find a Guardian article on this. Where we go, tech. Where are we? There we go. Ransomware attack not designed to take money, researchers claim. So here's the article. But I stated this within an hour of... We need to bear in mind as well, the attack ceased after 1 hour. It had done its job. There's the link there. I just needed to get that out of the way. It's a big story. I will be discussing more on Sunday as more analysis comes in. I'm by no means a tech journalist. I've just got a personal keen interest in cyber and geopolitical warfare. How's that?
Yeah, that's an odd situation.
An obsession with cyber and geopolitical warfare.
I like when this is the new frontier. This is the Wild West. The internet was the Wild West with your message boards and your 4chan, all the rest of it. This is now the new Wild West, and this actually will affect us all. If you don't know what's coming, it's just like waiting for a nuclear bomb to fall on you.
Oh, that's not fear-mongering at all.
Cyber warfare, the genie is out the bottle. Now, more disconcerting than a rogue nation targeting a military contractor, these weapons now affect programmable logic boards, PLCs, they affect hardware in our energy systems, our water, dams, nuclear power. The genie's out the ball. This is cyber warfare. And I don't know if anyone's noticed, but I don't see much peace going on anywhere at the minute. Do you?
There's a big country, sir. Oh, a big Earth country.
But there's not a lot of peace going on in any...
We don't know that.
Name me a place that's at peace in a minute.
We don't talk about them. We only talk about the negative aspects of society.
Okay, we've got Theresa May skipping down the stairs with Trump holding hands. That's one sign of we're not going to be attacked by America.
That's 2 countries. That's just 2 countries out of hundreds.
I know.
You know, back to the cyber attack thing, I think the NRA needs to make a new video where we can stop cyber attacks with the Second Amendment and our clenched fists.
I don't know. I don't understand cyber attacks. I don't understand internet talk very much. I'm lucky enough to where Top tells me if I need to get an update or something.
Yeah.
That's how my life goes.
2 weeks ago we talked about the fire over there in the UK at the Grenfell Tower. Yes. And they just realized, I think it was, what was it, like 60 towers across England were found to have
it's over 100 now. It was like 125 yesterday, and I haven't even seen the numbers today. Yes. Every single tower that has been tested in England, not all of the UK, because some have been tested in Scotland and not failed, but in England have failed. Every single tower.
Yes.
Top. How many of those towers would you say, the 100 or whatever they are that have the clouding, house wealthier people?
Well, here's the thing. It's now going beyond social housing. A local hotel to me is now having their cladding tested. Now, it's over 120 buildings have been tested, and over 120 have failed, as Gal rightly said. One thing that's been released today is that there was a choice made by the council, the Borough Council of Kensington and Chelsea, to choose the aluminium polyethylene cladding over the zinc covered cladding. Now, the zinc was the fireproof. Now, I don't know if you remember, last week we were discussing between polyethylene, non-fireproof cladding, and another internal protected fireproof cladding that Alcoa or Arcanic made.
Alcoa.
Alcoa Arcanic.
They're the same. Arcanic.
Okay.
They just became Arcanic in November.
Oh, I see. We
just learned that.
Yes. So on Alcoa Arcanic's website, there's the flame retardant and the non-flame retardant, but they were both aluminium composite. The local council to Kensington and Chelsea chose aluminium composite, regardless whether it was flammable or flame retardant boards, over zinc, which is a completely different product and completely safe type of cladding altogether, to save £300,000. That came out today. So if that building would have been clad in zinc cladding boards, those people would be alive. But the council decided to go with aluminium.
Whoa, the council leader stepped down an hour ago.
Yes, he did.
Didn't see that.
He never had a lot of choice. They held a council meeting yesterday that was advertised to be non-public. This was not a general public or press council meeting because they didn't want the meeting to be disrupted. The Guardian newspaper took it to court and got a judge ruling to say that they could attend the meeting. Once the press were allowed to attend the meeting, the council leader made a statement and declared the meeting over after the statement had been read. He then came under fire from the Prime Minister today, and that same person has now resigned. His position was untenable. He didn't instill confidence from his constituents, from his the people that he's supposed to be managing and leading and keeping safe. If he's not going to face them in a public meeting after this disaster, he can get fucked. And I think there's the one and only time I'll agree with Theresa May. She was absolutely fucking right to say this isn't good enough. So that's where, yeah.
So it was just all, it was just all over because people were using it. It didn't have to, because originally I thought it was just like, screw the poor people living in these buildings. But it went beyond that. It was just like a lot of people's lives are endangered.
Yeah, ultimately it became screw these regulations.
Do you think
in 2005? Just so you know, that's what it came down to. And then in 2011, more regulations were then cut that were quote unquote pro-business. That's why they cut them. The New York Times, I'll have to go back and find it, but on Sunday they printed an amazing article just pretty much showing you step by step of how this was able to occur.
That's horrible.
Yeah, £300,000, the difference in price of the cladding. Now, £300,000 would have stopped that fire enveloping totally that building, and over 100 people would be alive today.
Man.
So that's £300,000 divided by 100. That's how much per person's life.
So what's that, 3,000 or 30,000?
30,000.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yes, it is.
Man.
Millions will now be spent in compensation, investigations, inquiries, the recovery effort to identify bodies, the 100 so bodies in that building, will come to millions of pounds alone. And they've stated that it won't be completed this year.
Yeah, they won't even know the number until after. They won't know it this year. They won't know the final number.
They're still cleaning up the site because I think it was a news report a day or two ago. The guy was saying there's still bodies in there.
Yeah, they won't know the final count until they just specifically said they will not know it this year. It's going to be at least. Yeah, that's what they're talking about. It's not. It's going to take a very long time to go through the investigation and the cleaning up of that tower, and then of course trying to figure out who was in the tower, who wasn't in the tower. It's a very difficult process because at one point in time it was burning over 1,000 degrees, and that's the limit. That's usually where teeth, DNA, everything is gone at that point.
Wow.
And I wish I didn't know that, but I do.
That's so sad.
So you'll never get it. You'll never going to get it. And we've talked about this on TrumpCare Live as well. We're never going to get a 100% accurate number. It's very similar to 9/11. We never, we have the number that we talk about, 2,997, but we also know that there could have been more people involved. There, that just there was no proof of. And you're going to find the same thing. I think Top said the other day, like or it might have been somebody else. What if somebody was running by at night, ran in, nobody knew where he was at, and now he's just missing, but there's no proof that he was in the building because nobody knew he ran in. You're going to have a lot of these cases. You also have
visitors,
illegal citizens as well.
There was illegal tenancies as well. What is known, and I know because I fell foul of this. If you are in social housing, you are not allowed to lease your property. But people do, for whatever circumstance. I leased a property from a social housing tenant. I didn't realise. He got caught. I had to move out within a week. But there was a very real case of illegal tenancies being So there could untold amount of people. There could have been 5, 10 people living in a single room, which is not uncommon in social housing in the UK when you have a lot of illegal immigration, because you got people, gangs of traffickers bringing people into the country to exploit for their own purposes, and they hold them up in social accommodation, 4, 5, 6 beds to a room type of scenario. It's understood that there was illegal tenancy occurring in the building as well. So as Gal says, you won't know the true figure.
And you got families of undocumented people as well living with their families that might not be on the books because they're kind of not supposed to be there. That happens a lot here as well.
Well, what did they say? What was it? Top 23? There are 23 flats that they have got no contact from, that they expect everybody in those 23 flats to have perished.
Yeah, out of 100 or so flats, apartments in the building, out of 100 or so flats, they've had contact with at least one person in all of them, apart from 23. There's 23 flats where not one single person has made contact with the authorities, and they've no idea how many people were in those flats. 23. So if you put an average occupancy of 3 or 4 in those flats,
you're just under 100.
You're around the 100 mark, yeah.
And it's so tragic, and it could have been avoided so simply and easily.
Yes, it could. It's just a failure, a systematic state failure of legislation. The legislation should have been there to protect these people, but it was not enforced. It was subverted. It was manipulated by people thinking they were clever.
And it was focused more on profit over people.
Yes.
Typical capitalistic society.
Yes.
Yeah, we got to find a way to eliminate that for the future generations. Anyway, I think we got sidetracked we were talking about TrumpCare versus ObamaCare for about 10 seconds earlier.
Oh dear.
Isn't Trump not looking to introduce his own bill now, because there isn't one effectively? So he just wants to repeal Obamacare and hope for the best.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what he tweeted. Yeah, that was today. That was the tweet I saw that made me close Twitter.
We haven't got a solution, but we don't like what's in place, so we're going to stop it.
Yeah.
Well, what's in place is horrible, but I mean, why make it more horrible? Why not make it more accessible to everybody? That would make sense. Just
to be being worked on and improving. One of the biggest reasons that it's horrible is because so many Republican governors refuse to actually go through with the federal regulations, which is what raised increased premiums. But premiums increase no matter what. That's what a lot of people don't fucking realize. Excuse my language, sorry.
But as I say all the time, we can take a whole bunch of money and say we're not going to fund military to go and do stupid things that don't benefit anybody in this country other than the ultra rich, and we'll put it into giving everybody health care so everybody can afford it, because that's what they should be paying taxes for, not invading other countries and killing people, but healing them and their neighbors. That would make so much more sense. We don't need all these corporations involved. We don't need everything to be for profit. We need health care for everybody. I don't understand why that's a hard issue for them to see.
Because we're socialized into an individualistic mindset, and so the majority of our citizens care more about the individual, and they believe that if they keep working hard, they'll get that American dream, and they'll someday be at the top, and they won't want to be taxed whenever they're at the top.
And when they're at the top and they get sick, they'll have to lose everything, sell their house to be able to pay for it, because everybody doesn't have health care.
Right. Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm just giving you the mindset as to why it occurs. It's absolutely
There's people
ridiculous.
that are literally homeless right now because of health of situations and not having insurance. You know, like it's ridiculous. Like had to save somebody in their family and sold everything and lost everything. That should never happen. How immoral and how wrong is that?
I tell you who should be losing their houses for not being able to pay their dues.
Politicians.
And the financial policy makers that allowed this to happen. Now, in the financial crash, a lot of people lost their jobs, and some did in the financial industry as well. But those that made the policy and if they effectively set a mindset in a company of winner takes all. We need. It's like is it Wells Fargo that created tens of thousands of fake accounts?
Yes.
So they could make their targets. That's the mindset that is beset within the financial industry. Now, it doesn't matter whether it destroys society as long as their targets are met and they make their next bonus. It's the incentive initiative. Now, if you go and watch Inside Job, there's an Indian economist that put this to the great central bankers of the world, as he put it. And they laughed him down. He got shouted down by Tim Geithner and others. It's the incentive that's the issue in the financial services industry. Because you don't give a fuck what product you're selling to somebody, whether it's good for them or not. You're not looking out for them. You're just looking to make a target. That's where our society needs to buck up and understand that these financial vehicles and financial products are being sold to you so somebody can make money, not in your best interest. It's the same with insurance. It's the same with investments. Look at Enron, all those people that lost their pensions, investing their life's money, money that they're taking out of their families' monthly incomes to put away for their future, and it was stolen from them by people at the top in a vehicle that was corrupt, criminal. It happens time and time again. And do you think anything's different today? No. Far fucking from it. They haven't learned anything. At the moment, guess what? Deutsche Bank are being investigated for laundering Russian money. Deutsche Bank, the Bank of Germany, laundering Russian oligarch money that was stolen wealth from its citizens because the Russian gangster class went in and took over all minerals, oils, metals, anything of value. These guys went in and took it wholesale and made themselves billions upon billions. Has Russia benefited from that? No. It's just created an oligarch class. If you're with Putin, you survive, you carry on what you're doing. If not, you end up with polonium-210.
Yeah, we have certain people in our government that were laundering money for Russia too, and they're also under investigation for this.
You might want to explain God dang it. What you just said, Tap. What does that mean to those who don't know?
Polonium-210 is an isotope. It's a radioactive isotope. We had an MI5 informant on UK soil, a former spy, Alexander Litvinenko. He was working with MI5 and he wasn't on best terms with Vladimir Putin. A couple of guys came over with some polonium-210 on their person. They tried to assassinate him by getting Alexander Litvinenko to ingest polonium-210. They failed on the first attempt, but they succeeded by getting Alexander Litvinenko to drink tea laced with polonium-210. Now, polonium-210 is not a dangerous chemical. You can pick up the radiation. They found traces of it all over London where these guys had been. There was traces of it everywhere, but it wasn't dangerous. It's only dangerous if it's ingested. These guys knew this. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was a political assassination on nuclear soil, on UK soil, with a nuclear isotope under the instruction of Vladimir Putin.
It really is like a movie, man.
Yeah.
It's like a James Bond movie.
But with nuclear weapons that don't detonate. They explode from the inside.
Yeah. Yeah, I read about that a while back.
That's not even the strangest fucking assassination on UK soil.
No, don't you have one where a guy was found, committed suicide by stuffing himself into a bag?
Yes, he was found in his own Holdall sports bag. And it was ruled as suicide.
I've read a lot. I can't remember the guy's name, but I've read a lot into some of the creepy-ass assassinations in the UK, and that one always stands out to me.
Was that...
there was no way he committed suicide, but of course they ruled it, you know. Suicide.
Was it suicide by contortion?
I don't... It was...
Suicide by agoraphobia.
Oh my God.
Fear of large spaces, so he found himself the smallest space he could, which was his Holdall.
I just sent you guys a picture of the breaking news that just came through. Law enforcement official says gunman at New York City hospital who killed one, hurt six, was doctor who formerly worked there. He was wearing a white lab coat, carrying a rifle.
Go NRA.
Right.
Maybe he saw the video.
Could have.
Oh man. Yeah, I think I am gonna go down there in a couple weeks and interview those guys. They got a lot to answer for, and I mean I know it's just like some Los Angeles chapter or whatever, but still, just see what kind of people these people are and try to see what they say, how they answer the questions I'll ask them. Hopefully, I won't get shot in the process.
You know the guy that was ruled as suicide inside his Holdall? It was locked on the outside.
He's a regular Houdini.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what made it so weird. I remember that now. It was locked from the outside.
Yeah. I'm posting the link now just so you go. See, if this was just, I don't know, Alex Jones, and I wasn't actually posting links, you'd never believe this shit.
No, not at all.
He's a lizard person.
I wouldn't.
The correct term is reptilian, okay?
I know, you guys, when I first heard about the Queen, was he lizard myth person? I started looking at these videos just because they were so funny, and then there's this rabbit hole on YouTube you start to go down where everything's a conspiracy theory. Alex Jones is like the ruler of all. All of these people are lizard people. Every dead celebrity is an Illuminati sacrifice. It's just, these people are insane. I didn't know this stuff existed until maybe a month or two ago. They're so funny. Like everything that happens. I said I should make a YouTube channel. These people get so much money just making up this crazy stuff. We can't
absolutely right.
We can't get a couple hundred followers. These people have like 60,000 people listening to this garbage all day.
Yeah, it gets even worse. I don't know if you guys seen a lot of reports recently that Anonymous released a video about NASA.
I saw NASA came out and had to make a statement yesterday. I didn't know Anonymous was the one that released it. Oh dear God.
Yes. Let me explain. Anonymous Global, which is a YouTube channel, which is incidentally has a funding section on their website, so they're looking to make monetary gain. But they've got a YouTube channel, and they released a video that says NASA is about to release evidence that intelligent aliens have been contacted from another dimension. Yeah, let that sink in.
Right, NASA had to come out yesterday, 12 hours ago. Here it is.
Yeah.
They had to come out and say that they do not have child slave colonies on Mars because of that video.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. When anybody can say they're part of an organization, you get whack jobs and you get alt-right people trying to take over and infiltrate all the time. Yeah, I've noticed that a lot with Anonymous lately. It's like a lot of these people are pretty questionable. But that's the nature of the game, right?
I need to look at it from this perspective. Have they just performed the best troll in history?
Yeah, see, that would make sense, but I don't know. Because, I mean, when I look at these videos, you wouldn't believe it. I mean, maybe you would, maybe you've seen them. They're, like, so ridiculous. Like you could debunk them in 10 seconds, but they have all these people, and in the comment sections, it's all real. I mean, maybe they're trolling, but it's really good trolling, because they seem to believe this stuff.
Well, here's how I've had to look at this. In that they've released this video, it's gained wide media coverage, and it's actually got NASA to come out to make a statement. Now, if that's not ultra class trolling, I want
to state that NASA made a statement because of Alex Jones, not the Anon one. I want to make that. I just read the article.
But
was this an Alex Jones thing, or was it like...
There were two different things. That's what I was saying. That Alex Jones came out and said that we had child colonies, slave children on colonies on Mars, at the same time that this Anonymous video came out as well at the same time. So NASA was just like under attack there.
But here's how I look at it, is that if it was an intelligence agency, because this was a very well done video, if it was an intelligence agency, and we all know COINTELPRO and JTRIG and PSYOPs, all the rest of it, if this was done to discredit Anonymous, this video release, and it's shall we say, an actor of non-benefit. Now, if they did this to discredit Anonymous, and it's actually turned out that media are reporting on this, and as Gal's stated, that they've had to come out and make a disclaimer against Alex Jones, but it's gained actually quite a lot of notoriety. Now, that's ultimate trolling. Now, that's back to the foundations of what Anonymous is anyway. So is that discrediting this group? I don't personally think so.
Well, I would hope it is trolling. I mean, if it was trolling, that's classic. But I just fear with some of the stuff I've seen lately. I mean, I've been in some DMs with these people that are just... I don't know. I don't know. They really...
Yeah, we can't mark it off as trolling, because it definitely is not always trolling. I know plenty of people that believe all this shit.
Yeah, and there's people that are literal Nazis that believe they're part of Anonymous, and I mean, you can't say you're not a part of a group that anybody could be part of, but they definitely don't fit anything that I'd have to do with. I mean, the alt-right is trying to take over everything. They're trying to take over 4chan. They're trying to take over Anonymous. They're trying to take, they want to get their people everywhere. They definitely already taken over law enforcement.
Can I just mention a New York Post article from 4 days ago?
The New York Post is not a very secure or legit source, by the way. It's like the National Enquirer.
Okay, Washington Post, CNET, and the Express in UK.
There you go.
So it's widely reported. NASA debunks anonymous claim of alien life discovery.
Yeah, I mean, if it's trolling, it's great.
Okay, they have came out for NASA. They've had a long week.
Yep.
Okay, like my tinfoil hat shines so bright you can see it from space. Like I'm into some of this shit, right? And I'm listening to this and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me,
right?
It's just like, really? Come on now. Wow, all the shit I missed while I was away for a week.
Can I just read out the exact statement from NASA? And it's, contrary to some reports, there's no pending announcement from NASA regarding extraterrestrial life. Robert Zurbuchen, NASA Associate Administrator for Science, wrote on Monday. So they have had to come out and put a disclaimer out because of the anonymous video. Now, that is epic trolling. Now, you can try and discredit Anonymous by releasing such nonsense, but that is trolling of the highest order when you have the Associate Administrator for Science of NASA having to declare that they haven't found aliens from another dimension.
Yeah, the other dimension seems kind of trollish. That makes it even funnier than just the outer space thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you're right. If it is trolling, it's classic. I just, some of these people, wow, the stuff they truly believe blows my mind.
Here's what CNET wrote on it. For a while online this week, the word was that Hacker Collective Anonymous may have uncovered an imminent announcement from NASA about the discovery of alien life in the universe. The whole thing was a massive YouTube and tabloid clickbait fail that went so viral it forced NASA's head of science to set the record straight. Now, how can you have a clickbait fail that went viral?
Yeah.
That's actually a
Although I'm kind of wondering if didn't one of them say there were slave labor children on
That's Alex Jones. That was yesterday that NASA had to come out against that one as well. I just posted the link.
I think NASA's covering up. I think it's Soros funded.
Yeah, Soros has child slave labor on colonies in Mars.
There you go, because I got this sent to me by a concerned citizen over a week ago, and I saw this, and I personally thought it was just this is just a discredit campaign. It happens. We see it all the fucking time. But this CNET reporter wrote that over the weekend, I saw a link to a shoddy video on Anonymous Global's YouTube channel beginning to circulate online. I gave it a watch, but didn't give it any thought to writing about it because it was pretty clear that it was play for views, like so many other spammy videos about alien conspiracies, etc. So that's exactly what I thought as well when my friend sent it to me. Look, this is just a discredit campaign. I didn't think too much of it until I seen the end play when the head of science for NASA had to come out and discount it. Now, these guys are making money, and I don't approve of that. Nobody should be making money out of activism at all. It should be done because you want to do it, not because you're a career activist. This isn't a full-time job as such.
Are they a media company putting out a bunch of news and videos all the time? Because we fund for money sometimes to fund the state. We got to pay all these bills here and stuff. Or are they just trying to troll for money? I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I think it's a troll for money.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, and that's why I haven't shared the video. It's not something that I've promoted as a positive, but I will talk on the aspect of it trolling NASA having to come out and explain. I find that quite newsworthy and quite an interesting aspect. But my view on fundraising is that there's ways and means that you can actually get your message out there that cost nothing. We've you asked earlier today, Tim, on UK. We pay Spreaker. We do pay for it, but we pay for it via the DJs. We all chip in. If we want a radio platform, we pay for it. It's not much, but that's how we pay for it. A lot of the work that people do can be done free of charge. We understand people have to live, and that's why I don't consider my activism full-time. I do have a full-time job, and my activism is separate to it. But I just find there's a massive community out there that's willing to help with services and skill sets. You just need to tap into them. Everything can be done for free. You don't have to be on Spreaker. You don't have to be on certain platforms that pay. You don't have to pay for bandwidth. You pay for an internet connection. You have bandwidth, and that's it. And there's a multitude of ways to be creative on how to get a message out there.
That's a good idea. I need to look into that definitely, because this is crowdsource ideas, not always money.
That's my advice.
Yeah, definitely. If you got people, but I know Non-UK has like a whole community out there that kind of works together, which is awesome.
There's a core group of 10, 15 radio DJs, and that's it. We just pay for a yearly subscription. It comes around once a year. We all put in £20-30, and that's it. We're broadcasting for a year.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna look into something like that maybe in the future.
But you don't. But with other mediums now, you don't necessarily need to use Spreaker. A lot of people, we find that we lost a lot of viewers through Spreaker, and don't cut us off, Spreaker, if you're fucking listening, you bunch of fascists. But but there's other platforms now that allow you to broadcast for free. Now, I don't know if anybody knows this, but with the new update on the Android system, when you are in your camera mode and you swipe to the right, you can broadcast and go live from your phone without subscribing to anybody. That's how things are changing now. You don't have to. You don't. Before, you used to pay for cable television. Okay, you may pay for Netflix now, but that's your choice. But here in the UK, we have to pay for a TV license if you want to watch television. People have cottoned onto that. No, we're not watching your TV license. We're now going to go online. Your method of charging us a tax for information is now obsolete. And I think Spreaker's going to find their business model is going to shrink in the near future. Again, don't cut us off yet, Spreaker. For fuck's sake, we're still paying. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm paid up till after the next MMN.
There you go.
Yeah, I guess we're slowly running out of time. What was I'm looking for the next subject, so I'm going back here what we had to talk about today. We got through everything. We're going to talk about filming police. I guess was the last one. Why it's important to film the police.
Always film the police.
You know, I noticed something not that long ago. I live streamed something when I was the police were messing with some woman, so I filmed it. And yeah, the stuff they were saying was kind of weird to me. They were saying, you know, oh, sorry you didn't get a good video, like we should have beat her for you or something. And I'm like, I got a great video because nobody was hurt, nobody's rights were violated. And they seem to think all these videos are just for people trying to get people hurt so they could put it on YouTube. I don't think they grasp the concept that when a camera's aimed at them, they act right.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter about where the video goes. I shoot videos.
It's called the Hawthorne effect, just if you'd like to know the psychological term for that.
What is it?
The Hawthorne effect. Really comes about... it comes about more with experiments. Whenever people know they're being watched, they don't act the way they normally would. And then now we can see it almost global with surveillance. We know that people don't act the way they normally would when they know they're being surveilled. And it's going to be the same thing when the police are being videoed and they know that they're going to be, well, they won't be held accountable. We know that. But they know that it's being watched, then they're going to act differently than they normally would.
Yeah, I mean, I just think they think people want them to kill somebody. I don't understand their mentality. But yeah, and then the cops said, I'm all over YouTube, I'm famous, and I'm like, who cares?
Yeah, it's a very us against them thing they have going on. You know, it's just like it seems to me like they are so. I don't know if it's just because, like, you know, they've had years of like all this adoration from the public, where they're now at this mindset where if you're questioning them, you must hate them. Or, you know, but like, yeah, you know, like even, I don't know. It's
that's where the NRA video is so vicious, is that it's playing on that division and the fear of the police, that the police need to step up and do their job. Otherwise, if not, we're going to protect ourselves from the left.
Right. Well, guys, I'm going to have to dip out a couple minutes early here. I've been called to put on my bat cape and
go do your thing, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. No, well, I agree with what you're saying right now. Like, film the police at all times, and if they're acting right, they should be like happy about that. And if they're not, well, what's that say? That's all. I'll just add to the whole why you should always film the police. So, yeah, guys, good talking to y'all. And
Can I congratulate you on your name? Steve is a fucking excellent name. I'm glad your parents chose it for you, mate. It's fucking perfect. Thank you, man.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad it's a good one because I'm stuck with it. So, but yeah, man, really good to meet you two. I've been hearing a lot about you through Tim. So I'm glad I got to sit in on this with you guys, and we'll do more. And hell yeah.
The honor's ours, man.
What's that?
The honor is ours.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, you guys have a good one.
Take care, man.
All right, bye.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess we're wrapping it up. We're at the 2-minute mark. Anyone else have anything they want to throw out before the end?
I do. Go look up what's going on in Illinois as a whole, people. Everybody's ignoring Illinois. Poor Illinois. They haven't had a budget in 2.5 years. Everything's getting cut. The 911 services are getting cut. Actually, the Illinois Congress came together for first time in 2.5 years and created a bipartisan bill in order to keep funding the 911 services, because it's quite important. But Governor Rotner is deciding that he is going to veto it. So the state of Illinois is going to lose all of their 911 services. So go pay attention. They haven't had a budget. All universities and colleges have had to fire a lot of their. We've seen colleges completely shut down. Also, public education, K through 12, is shutting down. So people ain't even able to send their kids to school. It's a fucked up situation there.
We basically becoming a third world country at an alarmingly quick rate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to finish off with some advice. If you're conducting cyber warfare, watch out because Britain is now considering using drones to combat cyber warfare.
How does that even work?
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, may I suggest that the cyber warriors combat drones using cyber warfare?
I'm just thinking they've got basement busting bombs.
There you go.
Yeah, our government has declared that we're going to use drones in our fight against cyber warfare.
Oh, you mean weaponized drones? I thought you meant just drones patrolling for IPs or something. I don't know, or picking up.
Weaponized drones.
All out weaponized. Oh, God.
Wow.
Well, Theresa May did campaign on taking away human rights, so there you go. Still got in.
They all campaign on taking away human rights, whether they say it like
that. Yeah, but she
not.
openly stated it, though,
yeah.
Tim. She openly fucking stated
it. That's true. Cool. Well, on that note, I guess we're going to wrap it up for today. Thank everybody for listening, and see you guys next week.
Pleasure, man. Take care.
Yes.